Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Today we're going to reduce the chance of rear Jeep door destruction. Now, what am I talking about? Recently, we added some aftermarket wheels and tires to my wife's Jeep Wrangler, right? Now, if you look here on the back, we also put a new spare tire back here to match everything. This is the original tire right here. So, in doing that, we actually moved the tire away from the back of the door a bit, and these little bumpers, these little stops don't hit the tire like they're supposed to. Now, the reason they're there is to stabilize this tire, right? Otherwise, when you're driving down the road, it just moves around. And believe it or not, you can get a lot of vibration just from this thing moving down the road. So, ideally, it would sit up against these rubber stoppers. Now, what I've done, I have found some longer rubber stoppers. These are actually, what are they? Polyurethane. And they're going to replace what we have on there now. So, they should fit in like that. You can see they're contacting the tire right there. And I'm hoping they're long enough that once they go in, this little nub is actually inside the hole behind this one, that they still actually contact the tire. I do think they will, but we're going to go ahead, get the spare tire off of there, and I have a little method devised for doing that, since this thing is so heavy. And then I'm going to pull these bumpers off, put those in, we'll do a little test to make sure they're going to fit the way I want them to, and then we should have everything protected as well as we can, so that we don't have any chance of rear door Jeep destruction. And of course, what I'm talking about ultimately is sag on this door. There's a lot of weight. I can feel it on there right now. I don't want that to be damaged. So let's go ahead, get that tire off, and get these things put in. Let's go ahead and get this thing off. First of all, we have to remove the camera cover. Just requires a T40 Torx bit. Actually, your Jeep comes with one, but I like to use my own because it's more handy. Just turn it, pull this thing right off, pretty simple. Then we have two different style of lug nuts on here, and I did that intentionally for security reasons. So we're gonna pull the lug nuts that actually came with the tire. Before I do that though, let me show you my little device. It includes this table and this block of wood. The reason I'm doing it this way is because this thing is heavy. It's a struggle to get it up there, so I figured if I could put it on a table and then just roll it up and put it on, it'd be easier to do. We'll see how it works. But luckily, this block of wood sitting on top of the table is right under the tire. So, stick that under there, like so. Pretty simple. And let's go ahead and see about pulling this off. It does require two different lugs, if you will, actually three. We have the safety lug that came with the security, whatever you want to call it, lug that came with the setup. And then we needed a, let's see, 13/16 socket, and I'm just using a wrench, you know, why not? So let's go ahead and get these things loose. That's pretty easy. Get the security one that I bought. We'll get that one loose. There you go. That did work pretty well, I think. So now, set this aside. And again, this keeps me from having to lift it on the ground, which is exactly what I wanted. So, there is one more thing I'm going to do before we carry on. Let me show you that. Before we carry on, we have to take care of a little pet peeve of my wife's, I guess. We have to do a little bit of painting. Inside the lug nuts, where they're machined, there's a little silver in there. And I'm just going to paint that black so you can't see it around the lug nut or on the lug nut holes that aren't used. So I'm just using a simple, this is a Rust-Oleum high performance protective enamel. I'm just going to go ahead, paint those holes, and I'll show you what they look like here in a minute when I'm done. Got that all done, so we're golden there. Right here is the after. And it came out pretty well, I think. Again, just one of those little touches, kind of one of those while you're at it things, you know. While I'm at it, let's just go ahead and take care of that. So now I need to pull all of this out of my way, and we're going to pull out the stoppers that are there and see if my new ones fit. All right, let's go ahead, pull one of these off. We're going to start with this one here. You're supposed to be able to pull them out at an angle. So that's what I've been told. They are in there pretty loosey-goosey, you can see, so let's find out. Oh, well, that's pretty simple. And there's the nub that holds them in, so if you're wondering, that's how they're held in. I'm curious, in comparing the new ones, I mean, you can see the size difference, right? Pretty good size difference, but the nub looks to be about the same as far as its width. So hopefully, with a little persuasion, this will fit in there easily. We're going to find out. I am going to maybe spray a little bit of Windex on there. One trick that I learned recently during a washer and dryer delivery was Windex makes a pretty good lubricant, and then it just dries and it's clean. So let me go grab that. We're going to spray a little on and see how easy it is to fit these in. Okay, we're just going to squirt a little bit on here. Again, I'm just trying to lube it up a little, not trying to clean it. And then at an angle, supposedly, we're going to be able to slide this in. Got a little bit of rubber on there. Okay, here we go. Well, that wasn't too bad. You probably heard the snap. Fit in there pretty well. It's pretty secure. It's not going off unless I really get on it. So let me go ahead and do the other side, and then we got to get the spare up here and see if I need to shorten these at all. They are hollow here, which I didn't actually realize until right now. So you can cut them down a little so that they fit better. I hopefully won't have to do that. Got both in. Little tip for you. I did have a little harder time getting the one on the passenger side in before we had that little snap. Since they're hollow, and what happens is when you're pushing it, that nub wants to push in a little bit, right? Just fit a screwdriver in there, just like so, so that you can push on it as you're pushing it in to push that nub in. Actually, it worked really, really well. Now, I need to get the spare tire back up there and see if it fits. All right, here we go. Believe me, the struggle is real. This thing is heavy, 101.5 pounds. So unless you're a weightlifter, or maybe you're just naturally scrappingly strong, I used to be that way, it's a little cumbersome, but let's lift it up. That's not too hard. Now, I did mark it. You may have noticed the blue painter's tape that I had on there. I did mark it so that I could get the same holes in because I liked the lettering on the tire, if you will. So I want it to be the same. So the idea is to roll it across here and line it up and get it back on. That's the plan. But I think one more board and I'll be golden, so I'm going to do that. We'll just roll it up like that. That should work, I think. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, we've got the back on. Now I need to remove my board, and hopefully it'll just flip right back forward. Let's go, baby. Now, I'm gonna get this one out of the way. There we go. I should be able to just drop this on. Look at that. That's how it's supposed to work. Yeah, I know a little more time consuming and maybe not as manly as some of you would like to see it done, but I didn't hurt myself. So I'm golden. Now I got to take a look and see how it fits. Okay, you guys can see how it fits. It's definitely at an angle. That's because this is too long. So I need to take a little bit off of these, and they do have these convenient little ridges in them to do that. So I'm going to lay my tire back down, this time on my setup over there, and go ahead and cut these off. You can cut them with a hacksaw, so it should be pretty simple to do. So let me do that. We'll come back on and see if it straightens it up to where I want it to be. All right, the project is done, and it is a fail. because somebody, me, decided that I needed to take another ring off of the bumpers that I put on, and I didn't. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You guys can see here, obviously there is a gap. There's no point in having them there. The whole idea is that they'll contact the tire to stop it from bouncing around to stabilize it. So that is a massive fail for me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to buy 2 more, and this time I'll cut, at least I know what to do, I'll cut one off of the end and pull those off and put them back on. I should be able to do that, I think, without pulling the spare tire, so all this drama of taking the tire off will not be necessary again. But at least you can see how it's done. It should have been a simple mod had I not cut those bumpers too much. I should have just stopped, but I didn't. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know if you've done this before. I'd be curious to know. And how many did you take off? Were you smart enough to just do one? That's the way it should have been. Let me know. Leave a comment. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma. And Rob Motive Tundra, about my quest for the redesigned Toyota Tundra that's coming, as well as some mods and things and thoughts and stuff that I've done on the Tundras I've had in the past. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos like this big fail. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.